Yeah, to continue the class with the next topic. So we are going to cover in this topic like parameters, and to pass the value at runtime, we give parameters. We give parameters, and parameters are like job level parameters, project level. These all we'll see now. Okay, to start with, I'll take just a filter and switch job that we discussed in class 3. Okay, forget about the class numbers because I'm a bit confused, but just I want to discuss with the filter switch, okay, that we discussed earlier. Okay, see now here, the value which I'm giving is hard-coded value. Department number 20 and department salary less than or equal to, I'm sorry, greater than or equal to 1500. So what I was trying to do is here with using with parameters, I want to replace this value with a parameter because what is the purpose and why? Today, as per my requirement, I have given 20th department and shall like 1500. But maybe my requirement get changes after 1 month or after 2 months. So sometimes like within days, even my requirement get changes. So in that case, if my requirement changes and accordingly if I want to do the changes, it will be typical to me to change my value by opening my job. So in development environment, you can open your job for n number of times. There is no problem at all. But once you complete your development and move this code into your production, so in production, there is no way chance to open your job and do some modifications in the production environment. Production environment is nothing but your live. So live means like end user, they will be generating, they will be using this project, the what purpose we have implemented. So in that case, you cannot open your job and do some modifications at production. So for that, but you can change the value by passing parameter value. Okay, fine. Before going to parameters concept, I just want to show you one small concept. How do you make a copy of a job? Means one which case again this is helpful. Assume that I have a job design which I have made and there is a small change in the development environment itself and the complex of the job is very huge. Now, but I have a small change. Of course, I cannot construct this whole complexity again, and I cannot redesign my job from scratch. So what I want to do, I want to keep the existing job as it is and just take a copy of that and do that small change within the complexity. How can I do that? Because see, why should I take a copy? Can't I put job aside and do it? Within the job I cannot do it? No, because maybe if requirement is again changes and the revert changes need to be reverted, that again a problem. So what I'll do, whatever according to the requirement I constructed the job, I'll just make it in that way, and later on I'll just move the code. 1 minute.
This conference will now be recorded.
So we'll see now how to take a copy of a job. So switch filter stage which is required for me to demonstrate parameters concept. So what I'm doing, I'm just create copy. So what will happen? The job will be newly generated and it will be the name as copy of switch filter stage. Okay, so this can be renamed, and these all things, whatever we are doing now, they should be done only when your job is closed. You cannot open your job and perform these all things. So what I'm going to do here is this job is 5, and the concept of this is parameter and a paraset. We'll discuss that. What is this? We'll discuss what is parameter and parameter set and all, and environment variable in this job. That is job 5. Click open. So now this job 5. Okay. So nowhere I have used a parameter concept here. Now I want to replace these values with parameters. Okay. So parameters are like three levels, like job level, project level, global level. Okay. So first we'll see job level, which are parameters, job parameters. How can we define a job parameter? How we can define a job parameter? So for that, you go to just edit tab, job properties tab, edit tab, and go to job properties, or shortcut key Control plus J. Control plus J. Please prefer shortcuts, will be helpful to show you that you have a good experience in the tool. Okay, if you do your work with shortcuts, it will be more helpful to show our knowledge on Datastage. Okay, so see here, this is the parameters concept in the job properties tab. How to open? Just I will be showing you again. Just open job properties tab directly by clicking here, job properties tab, or else go to edit tab, job properties, or control J, and in the job properties tab, go to parameters and click add parameter. These are parameter set, don't add there, just double click on parameter name, say department number, DEPT number. What is the value, prompt value? I'll tell you when we are running the job with a value, I'll tell you. Please keep note of what is prompt. Enter the department number value. Type is department number is numeric, so I'll make it as integer. The default value is, if you give default value, just nothing will happen. We can replace that, but just now I'll give you the department number value. And the other one is salary. So here we can give the prompt value as enter the salary. Enter salary value. That is also integer, so I will make it this as 1500 by default what we are giving now. So click OK. Now we have created a parameter, but we haven't called them into our job. We did not call them into our job. How to call that parameter? Up to now what we have done, we have just created a job parameter. Job properties tab, parameters, double click on parameter name and prompt value, give the type, enter the default value, the same way the second value I have given. But I haven't called them into my job. Now I want to call into my job. How I can call these parameters into the job? See, for example, I'll just open another job like switch filter stage job. This is the previous job. In this job I don't have parameters. In this job I don't have parameters. Double click on department number 20. See the value and choose on your right hand side a browse button, insert job parameter. You don't have any parameters, so you are seeing only this kind of view. But the job which I created for parameters, and in this I have added the parameters, two parameters. Then what will happen in the filter stage when you double click on 20 and the browse button, insert job parameter. See, you see the list of parameters. So here the value I need to provide as department number, and here the value I need to provide as salary value. So these are like my parameter names. The below second one I'm not yet given the value, that is hard coded value. We'll leave as it is for now, but I will show you that value also how to parameterize. Okay, so I'm just compiling now. And before again running this job, before going to this job, I'll just again go to the actual job of switch filter stage, compile it, and see the difference how it looks when I click on run button. You see limits tab and general tab, because here I haven't created any parameters. Okay. Now, when I open the job which I created a parameters and compiled and run, now there is a new tab. So parameters, a new tab which will be opened, parameters. Say here, see. Okay, this is what your prompt value. I asked you to remember what is the prompt value. So the prompt value is the value what you enter into the parameter prompt value will be present here. Because you may forget what to do, or else you might create a parameter, you know the value what you need to be provided, but the people who are new, or the people, the other teammates or colleagues, maybe open your job and try to run, they don't know what value need to be passed. In that case, the prompt value will help them to give, to know what to give the value. So that is the way that the parameter prompt value will be helping us to provide a parameter value. Okay, so here I given the default value in the parameters as 20 and 1500. So when you run with these default values, those values will be present and run the job. Okay, so I'm running with the hard coded value what we have given before, the same value I'm going to run. So I'm getting same number of records, 10. Okay, now I'm not opening my job. I'm not opening my stages, any stage. I'm just trying to compile and run now. So now I'll be trying to pass a different value. For example, I just want to pass 10th department, and I want to pass not 1500, I want to pass some 2000. So we'll see now the number of records how it gets. Means, see the default value what I given in the parameter in the job properties tab, even the values are present, but you can override them by changing your runtime value. Okay, they can override, but every time when you run, the parameters will be shown you as 10. Okay, I did not compile. That is the reason it is showing the previous values only. But if you compile, it will show you the default values what are present in job properties tab. What will happen if the prompt default value is not present? It will not show any value. So this is the difference between giving a default value or else not. So if you don't give any default value, it will not show you any value. You can give any value at, like, if you provide a default value, even no problem. It can overwrite if you change the value here. There is no issue. And if you don't provide the default value even in the parameters tab, nothing problem. Okay. So either you can provide a default value or not, leave it, no issues at all. There is no problem at all. Okay, so here now I'm going to give like 30th department, and I'm going to change this into the salary value into 1500. Click on run. Previously I got 7 records here. Before to the default records, record value like 20 and 1500, I got 10 records, and after changing into 10 and 2000, I got 7 records. Here I got 0 records. Why I am getting only one record into the second output, whereas a given department number is 10? Just recollect the concept of output row only once. By that you will come to know why only one record we are getting when we have department number equal to 10. Okay. So this is what a parameter concept. Parameter concept. In another way, I just want to change that. I'll create a new one. which is department number 2. So you should be very care of these parameters, because most of the people will get confused here and get mistakes, will do mistakes. There is an option, there is a chance to do a mistake here. Okay, so that should not happen, means you should not try to understand the concept very well, so that you don't do the mistakes here. So in the bottom I'm giving you 1, and output row only once I'll make it as false, because I just want to show you in the second where class department number I want to show you how many records I'm going to pass. So first one I'm giving 20th department where salary or department number or salary, in that value I'm giving 10 and 1500, and the second where class I'm giving 30,000. Sorry, 30th department I'll provide. Click on run. What happened? 6 records. 30th department I got 6 records. And the first where class I got 9 records. So this is your parameters concept. But in another way, how we can use this means we can parameterize this credentials even and this path of the file even. What happened? I hope the link is disconnected or what? No. Why before it shown me in that way? Maybe some mistake happened. Okay. So here the path of the file also can be parameterized. The path of the files can be parameterized. Some reflection is not happening, that's it. That is not a big deal at all. Okay, it will reflect due to some maybe internal network connections, maybe that view is not popping very easily. Okay, that is the mistake, nothing else. That okay. So now this all can be parameterized. Okay, now I want to put a second value with a different. I just want to show you with a varchar value also. How can we do that? So I'll just filter on job. And one more thing here we need to understand. Take columns whichever you want from your input column, copy it and go to the stage page and do paste. That is a good practice. Even in real time. That is a good practice. And this department number can be true. And what I did, job, I'm just going to the parameters and I'm renaming this parameter value 3 with a department number 2 with a job value. The parameter name is job value. And here we are saying enter the salary by the value, and I'm saying enter the job value of the job. And this is not integer, this is varchar. I mean to say string, we can say string. Click OK. So go to Oracle and see here we have job as varchar value. And normally in SQL even, if you want to use a filter on a varchar columns, there is small condition select star from emp where job equals to, say just simply clerk clear clerk. So the same clerk spelling is same, right, as I given same spelling, but even it is throwing error. So I'll just rename it again, copy paste with the value. Alt fx. No, still it is saying invalid identifier. Now what I'll do, I'll just keep them in a single code. So this should be happen. This should be happen in your. I'm sorry. This is clerk. I have copied before. Okay, the name I copied. I guess. I'm sorry. The name itself I'm giving wrong. Okay, I'll just remove these codes again. I'll just try to filter the data without a single quotes. So I'll just add now single quotes to them. So what here I mean to say is, if you are giving var value, you need to provide in single quotes. The same way in data stage also, you need to provide your single quote values. So the job value I given in the job, I'll just go to the parameters. I'll give job value. And what you can do here is, here you can provide your single quotes. Here you can provide your single quotes. Okay. So now click OK, compile. How to provide a value? Now in order to give single quote, directly you can give a clerk. Here the job value you can provide as clerk. Now it is going to execute. How many records we got here? In database level, 4 records. The same way you are going to fetch 4 records into your target. So here what I am doing, here I given the codes. If you don't provide here, what will happen? What you need to do? See, without providing codes, I'm giving. Now what will happen? We'll see. See, what is the intention of parameters? Every time you are providing the values. For example, this job complexity is very less, so that is the reason we are having only 3 values of parameter. It, of course, it is easy to pass, but n number of times if you want to pass it, it is what some typical, right? So here, see, why the job got aborted? Because of your valid field name. That is what the single code we haven't provided. So the varchar should be, the single code should be provided. Okay, one way I have shown you, give the parameters, parameter name in the stage itself with a single code. Like that we can provide. Else what we can do. So this is a small drawback of a parameter. Small drawback. Every time passing the values. Every time passing the values. So it's kind of like a drawback. Okay. So now I ran the job. Even still it is failing. I hope it should not fail now. We'll see. We'll see the director. Clerk is not a valid name. Fail. Okay. I'll just compile it. I have, before I compiled it, I'm sorry. This is the job value. Oh, it still is failing. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just try to pass double quotes. Even single quote it should pass, but to do something, maybe giving at runtime, no? So it will be have given before. When I parameter passed here in the parameter, I given single quotes only. But when I'm running and runtime, so it is taking double quote. It is not accepting single quote. Maybe you can give at runtime with a double quote. Single quote should work actually. Fine, no problem. This is not a big thing. Normally, usually what we do, we don't give at runtime. We provide a value with a single quote in the parameters only. That is the reason. In that case, you can provide there itself. Okay. This is what about parameter. Okay. Usually now what I want to do, I want to make these values parameterized. Parameterization. I want to do it in a parameters. Okay. For example, what I'll do, I'll just give the parameter value. Here I need to give username, password, and server name, and here the path names I need to provide. Okay. So for that I'm going to click. So Vora server name, enter the server name. So it is string, and here Vora username. Enter the Vora username. This is also string. And this I'm going to password. So Vora underscore pass. Enter the Vora password. So here I want to give encrypted because password cannot be viewed. It should be and one more thing, mostly in in mostly the Scott, the user, the server name and the username and the password would be same. You don't need to change every time. So these values you can provide by default. So what I want to do, I want to give server name or a server name as Oracle and for our username as Scott and the password as Tiger. So it will ask us to confirm again the password as Tiger. Okay. So click OK. So click OK and call them. Call into your Datastage. So you can click on your browse button here, Vora server name, Vora username, and Vora password. So these are like parameterized values, parameterization. So nowhere it should be hard coded, everywhere it should be parameterized. Normally, once you complete your development, our manager or team leader will ask us to please recheck whether your jobs are parameterized or not. Completely parameterized or not, please don't make sure that they are not hard coded. Even the server names, even the values or anything cannot be hard coded. They should be parameterized. Okay. So I'll just give the paths of these also. The path of data set and reject everything we'll give. And I call them in the parameter. We'll see now. Data set output 1. Enter tar dataset file string, and here dataset output 2. Enter the tar file of dataset string, and this should be dataset reject. that one. Enter the ds digit ds file string. And one more thing, I can give path here. I can mention path name also. Best data type as. What is difference between a path and path name and string means? See, if you are providing string for the path, you can provide the string also, no problem, no issues. But when you double click, you cannot get the file name to browse here, the path to browse here. But when you go for path name, you can double click on this default value, you get the path. You just select this is sequence star target. I want to go for dataset target, and here you provide the file name. I'll give the file name in the target. So I'll just go to ds star again, target again, and here I'll just create one new. In the path I'm creating one new widget, dataset widgets. So I'll be specifying the path here, this widget file, click OK. So I given the paths, I did not specify the file names, click OK. Now I'm calling this as, I'm sorry, I'm not browsing the file, I want to insert the job parameter, dataset output 1. So see, the file name is filter.ds, click OK. This is filter2.ds, filter2.ds. And the results also you need to capture widget.ds. And one more thing you should identify here, one more thing. What is that? See the parameter, see the value, okay, slash. Oh, here I given the file names. It should not be like this. The file name should not selected. So if you are providing at the end the backward slash, that should be fine. If not, what you need to do, you have to provide here. Please make sure, okay, make sure of these things, because else you will get fail, job fail, okay. So we'll just go to the paths and see whether the files are presented or not. Here two files should be presented, filter1 and filter2, and result file 1 should be there, okay. That should be created after running the job. And here I'll just tell you some limitations of this parameter concept. It is job level and department number value 10 and 1500 and 30th department, server name, username, and the files. Click on run now. So how many values I have provided? Some number of provided. Okay, why this value did not, job value should get 30, right? And one more thing, see now, I'm just telling you one important concept. I ran the job before with a value. I'm not sure why I'm getting 0 records here. Now I don't know, I forgot like what value I have provided for this, how to identify, how to provide, how to see the values what I provided before, how to check them means go to the data set, sorry, director, and open the job which you ran, and the latest run will be in the black color. On the control double click and you can see the values what you provided. Okay, here I have given the job value, but what happened, unfortunately I given 30. This is wrong, right? That is the reason I got my job as, sorry, that record as 0. So you can see the values what you provided in such a way. Okay, what I will do, I don't change jobs again. I'll just compile again and I'll run. So 10, 1500, and here I need to provide clack with double quotes because I did not use single quotes at a stage level for the parameter. I'm running now. So now you can see 4 records moved into the output. Okay, move to the target. Now you see in the director, this is the latest run. The black color will be the latest run and thick blue will be the previous run. Previous run I given job as, I'm sorry, double click on control. Job name as salary 30. Beep, that is previous run, right? And the current run I have given job name as clerk. So that is the value has been provided. Now go to the director. I have seen the director and see the outputs whether it got created according. But data set we cannot view. Just we will see whether the file name is created or not. Correct or not? Created or not? Created or not? Yes. But we cannot view them. Why and all we'll discuss when we are talking about sequential file and data set. Now I'll just want to go through what is the limitation of job parameters. The limitations of job parameters, see these many values I have provided and how many times I'm running? Multiple times. So what happens here? Multiple times I need to pass these values individually. If I give default value, even I need to change, right? And one more thing, today I'm in dev, tomorrow testing, and day after tomorrow it will be production. Server to server the values will change. So I want to make a set, means if I want to make production, dev, testing, this all means if I have 10 to 15 values for one environment, means total 3 environments, 3, 15, 45 values I'll get it. Correct or not? If I'm using only parameter. So in that case, what I can do, I can go for parameter set concept. Okay, that we will see in the next session. Thanks for watching this session. This is what only with a parameter, and these jobs, these parameters we cannot call into another job, or they are job level parameters. Job parameters are job level, we cannot call them. So for this the advanced concept is parameter set that we are going to see in the next session. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.